We want to tell you about burns. Burns are something that don't have to happen to your children, but happen more frequently than we would like to admit, that we actually see in the emergency department. So let's talk about the kinds of burns and the causes of burns that you can have with children. The most common causes of burns in kids are scalds. That's hot fluid, often because either you've had a hot cup of coffee and you're carrying your child and it spills on your child, or they've reached up and grabbed that pot. You forgot to turn the handle toward the back or put the pot in the back of the stove, and they've grabbed a hot pot and basically drenched themselves with hot water. So scalds are something, or if you haven't remembered to turn down, for instance, your water heater down to 120 degrees and it's 150, you can scald your baby's feet trying to just even get them bathed.
Or a cup of coffee and soup seem to be
those
a
big... Those are very common. So those are scalds,
right.
And that's basically hot liquid on your baby's skin. There are also contact with flames, or what are called thermal burns, where babies will get burns from touching something hot. That's either a flame, things like a birthday cake, where they reach out and grab that candle and have that startled look on their face when they get the burn, or a stove where the flame is there, or a true flame, or even something like a radiator. If you have a heat radiator, particularly in the East Coast and older homes, where the heat in your home comes from those radiators that are along the wall, a child learning to walk grabs things as they try to pull themselves up, or as they try to feel along a wall. That's another reason they can get a burn. Electrical burns can definitely occur. If they chew through a cord, they can get an electrical burn, and that's the kind of thing you definitely need to see your physician for, or come to the emergency department in particular. And sunburns are very common. Sunscreen is a crucial part of any child's life from birth on when they're outside in the sun. They should always have sunscreen, because sunburns are a big problem for children, not only the day they get burned, but potentially down the line.
Right. Now, burns are rated depending on their level of severity. 1st degree, 2nd degree, and 3rd degree. 1st degree is very common. It's what you're going to see. It's the redness of the skin, typically what you'd see like with a sunburn. 2nd degree, a little bit more depth to it. Now you're involving blisters. Again, not serious, but we want to see those in the emergency room, or you want to call your pediatrician if you saw blistering associated with any type of burn. And then 3rd degree is much more rare. That's actually charring of the skin, a much deeper level. You're really going to be talking about a 1st degree and potentially a 2nd degree with some blistering. What do you do if your child's been burned? So your child touches a radiator, maybe they had some hot water, a cup of coffee poured on them. The first is to remove any clothing that might be associated with burn. So take the child's clothes off. Almost immediately, you need to get cool water, some type of cool fluid, a cool compress, something that's going to cool that burn down and also help with the pain. Now, if you don't have water available, if the child's drinking apple juice, pour the apple juice on the burn. It's going to cool the burn down. It's going to help with the pain. So you'd preferably like cool water, but you can just use anything the child is drinking if you don't have access to cool water immediately. Now, some people say, don't waste the time taking the clothes off. Just pour the water or pour the fluids over the clothes directly. But if you can get the clothes off quickly, you want to pour cool water or some type of liquid, some type of fluid over the burn to cool it down and help with the pain.
Now, there's certain things that you are not going to want to do. You may hear lore, sort of things that get passed down through families, or you hear in neighborhoods of put butter on. My grandmother, who was a nurse, did this. Put butter on the burn. That's not what you want to do.
Or toothpaste. Toothpaste seems to be a big one because of the coolness of the menthol or something.
And you really don't want that on a burn either. What you really just want is cool liquid. And you don't want ice. You don't want to put ice directly on anything on your skin. You don't want ice per se. So go ahead, it's just cool, put them under cold sink, that's fine, just nice cool water. And then you can treat that, by the way, that takes care of a huge amount of pain, an enormous amount of pain for children. But you can also add something like ibuprofen or acetaminophen to help take care of the pain. Those are pain medicines in addition to taking care of fevers. They take care of pain, so either one of those is fine to help decrease the pain of a burn. Sometimes you can use something like an aloe gel. Aloe gels are cooling, they feel wonderful, and particularly on 1st degree burns, that's something you can consider to just calm the skin down so it's not quite so uncomfortable. If you have a burn that has a blister, if you have a burn that happened from an electrical source, please see a doctor. That's something you really need to see a doctor about. Go ahead and cool it, but those are the burns you need to bring into medical care.